Okay, welcome to the lesson on law of sines. The law of sines, you are going to use the trigonometric function sine. This is part one. I've got a two-part series. The first part is I'm going to give us a couple of examples of when I give you two angles and one side. Now, note on this triangle, it's the same concept as we've used with the right triangle, except there's no right angle. So my angle A opposite is little a, my angle B opposite is little b, big C is opposite of little c. Now, this right here that I've got it's in ratio and proportion form, this is my law of sines. Now, what you're going to have to realize is I'm going to have to give you several pieces of information. In this case, I'm going to give you two angles and a side. Then you choose which ratio to use. You're not going to use all three of them. You're going to just use two of them. So you may just use A and C. You may use B and C, or you could use C and A. Just depends on what information I'm giving to you. So what I mean by this is, let's take a look at this number one. Now, on this example, what I've done is, and a lot of us may or may not have been taught this way, how to use this, but what I always like to do is define what my angles are and what my sides are, and then fill in the rest of the missing information. So I'm going to put in, do I know my angle A? Yes, it's 40 degrees. My angle B is 27 degrees. Right now, I do not know my angle C. My little a, well, my little a is right over here. I do not know that. My little c, I do not know, but my little b, I know is 15. So this means I could be asked in a variety of different questions is to find all the missing information, or maybe just find side A, or maybe just find side C, or maybe just find angle C and side C. It just depends on what they're asking. I'm going to fill in all of the information that I need. Now, my approach, what I look for is if I give you two angles, right off the bat, I can go ahead and I can say my missing one is C. My total degrees is 180. So all I have to do is subtract 40 and 27 from that. So when I subtract this out, I get C to be 113 degrees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little box around it. That means I did find this information. Now, you can go ahead and what I do is I always do it in alphabetical order. I will try to find A and then C, but it doesn't matter which way you start. You should get this. If you do it the exact same way, you should be fine, either direction you choose. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I know that I'm given B and I'm given my angle A. So I'm going to use my B sine of big B equals, I'm going to find little a, so I'm going to say little a over sine of A. Now from this point right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start filling in my blanks. My little b I know is 15. My sine of B is just sine of 27. I'm going to set it equal to, okay, I'm trying to find A. I'm going to put that over sine of, my A is 40. My next step is I'm going to cross multiply. I wanted to take this right here, A times sine of 27, and I want to set it equal to 15 times sine of 40. Now this is just like an equation to solve from. So all I'm going to do is I want to solve for my little a by dividing sine of 27. Now, calculator-wise, those that have got the graphing calculators, I would probably use a parentheses. Do 15 sine of 40 divided by 27. Those that have got a scientific calculator, I would probably start out saying 40 sine and then multiply it by 15, hit enter, then divide it by sine 27. That's probably how most of our scientific calculators will do this. So once again, to find little a, you would do 40 sine times 15 divided by 27 sine, hit enter, and that's what you should get. You should get what I'm getting for my little a is roughly 21.2. Now, for us, since 113's got 3 significant digits, that's why I'm doing 21.2. Now, we're going to do the exact same way with C. So I'm still going to use my B's. So this time I'm going to use B sine of B, the same as I started with, but now I'm going to do C over sine of C. My little b is 15, so my first part of this does not change. But my second one, what we're trying to do is find little c, and we're going to do it over sine, in this case, 113. Now I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to say C sine of 27 equals 15 sine of 113 . Now to find little c, I'm going to divide by sine of 27 on both sides. Once again, depending on your calculators, remember to use parentheses, or scientific, remember to do 113 sine, hit, and then times 15, hit enter, divided by 27 in sine, hit enter. So in this case, I get my C to be 30.4. Now I'm going to show us one tidbit on this, is sort of that we can sort of check to see if we're on the right track. Now, our smallest angle will always have the shortest side, and our largest angle will have our largest side or our longest side. Let's see if this holds up. My smallest angle is 27. Look at the side. It's the smallest side. Look at the largest angle. It has the longest side. That's how you can check. If these are off, that means we've done something wrong in our calculations. Once again, now, if I were you, maybe go back and repeat this example 1 several times to see if you get a handle of it. Because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do example 2. Now at any point pause and you can always go back. So part 2, I'm going to still set up the same way as far as what is known and what I'm trying to find. So A is 38 degrees, B is 45 degrees. Now my little a is 28. So now to find big C, I'm going to take 180 minus 38 minus 45. And when I do this, I get 97. Now 97 is what I've found this to be. So now what I want to do is I want to either solve for little b or little c. It does not matter which one you choose. I always go in alphabetical order, so I'm going to choose little b. Little b sine of big B equals little a over sine of a. Now my next one I would still, if those that are looking to solve for c, you would do sine, like b sine of b equals c sine of c. Now, I'm going to cross multiply my a like this, but what I need to do, so what I'm going to solve for, I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to erase this because I don't want it to look funny. But what I want us to do is I want us to go ahead and fill these blanks in. So what I want to do is I'm going to put in my 28 for A and my sine of 38. And my B, the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to solve for B. So for my B, B over sine of 45 equals 28 sine of 38. This is where you cross multiply. And then I'm going to divide by sine of 38. So in this case, I've got little b is 32.2. Now, if you're looking for significant digits, I mean, you can make that a 32. I'm just using a decimal, so 32.2. Now, since I've got my A, I know some of us could do this other route that I showed us, but I'm going to do a little different route. So it just depends on which angle we're looking for. I'm going to use my A sine of big A. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find my little c. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just plug in for my A's. I'm going to say, in this case, I'm going to say 28 sine of 38 equals my little c over my 97 is what I found, so sine of 97. I'm going to cross multiply. So I get c sine of 38 equals 28 sine of 97. Then I'm going to divide by sine of 38. Calculator-wise, graphic calculators, you can put it in just like what I have. Scientific calculators, I would try to do 97 sine and then multiply by 28, hit enter, divided by 38, and then sine. We should get little c to be 45.1 roughly. Now notice my smallest angle is my shortest side or my smallest side. My longest angle, my largest angle is my longest side. Now also I want some of us that are scratching our head and saying there's no way C can be 97. This is not drawing the scale. This is just using a general form of the triangle. So like I said, go back, repeat this over and over so you can get the hang of it, and then be looking out for my second part of this of law of sines. So instead of giving you two angles and one side, I'm going to give you one angle and two sides. Thank you for listening.